Hello everyone, it's Timothy 2009, and I'm finally back with a new video. So, it's been a while since I've talked about the 80th anniversary project I made for the 80th anniversary of Thomas and Friends. But, today we're going to be doing another sort of like Trainboy 54-esque video, if you will call it that. So do you remember last time when I talked about Trainboy 54? Yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun to make. I mean, I am very nostalgic for Trainboy54. He's one of my favorite YouTubers of all time in the Thomas community. While yes, his content isn't the best in terms of quality, I still really think he's very, nostalgic to me. In fact, there's a lot of nostalgic Thomas videos that I've seen when I was very little, but you get my drift. But, we're going to be talking about one of his crossovers that he made. Yes, for those of you who don't know, Trainboy54 has this thing where he, takes fictional cartoon characters and makes them into Thomas the Tank Engine characters. And you probably know what his most biggest crossover is, which I might do a video on later, but aside from that, he's done other crossovers like the Powerpuff Girls, Toy Story, Disney characters, SpongeBob, even though Mattel already made that with Thomas Minis, and the Wiggles, as of recently. But we're going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite crossovers he's ever done on his channel, and one that absolutely blew me away. And yes, this did inspire me to do my own Thomas My Little Pony crossover, and don't worry, it's not dead, I just need the motivation. There are a lot of things that threw me off continuing this series, with the cancellation of Thomas Wood back in 2021, and even All Engines Go taking over and just ruining everything about the original Thomas and Friends series for a lot of Thomas fans, and the stain that left the Thomas and Friends community as of right now. I mean, I'm sure you all know the negative side of the Thomas community, but I'm not going to talk about that too much. I don't know, maybe one day I might talk about my personal opinion on the current state of the Thomas fandom, but that's just a thought. Sorry about the noise in the background. But, anyways. So, y'all know that my top two favorite shows are Thomas and Friends and My Little Pony. So what better way to express that than to, combine the two properties together? Now, I know some of you might not be the biggest fans of, Thomas and Friends crossovers, and crossovers in general, but personally, I think there's sort of an interesting, spin on, certain things, and allows the adventures to be more crazier. Take, for example, the Jimmy Timmy Power Hours by Nickelodeon, where they combine the Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron. I mean, that actually, is sort of interesting, and does kind of make sense, in a way. They try to make it make sense. Or, take Wiggly Safari, where they added Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. Rest in peace, by the way. That's actually, sort of interesting. So, I don't think crossovers are that bad when done correctly. I know some of you are probably wondering, what is the connection between Thomas and My Little Pony? Well, both shows teach friendship and working together and the importance of honesty. While yes, some of you could argue and say that the first few seasons of Thomas and Friends didn't really teach friendship that much, it was more focused on the everyday lives of the trains going around and getting into a bunch of accidents and learning lessons along the way. But the show is called Thomas and Friends for a reason, isn't it? Because remember, Thomas is not the only character in the show. Well, yes, it used to be called Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, they just shortened it down. But, anyways, point being, I love both shows regardless. I think there's some sort of connection between them. And I also think My Little Pony has more care put into it than, All Engines Go. Because the stories are more entertaining, and I just think that I love how they use more than one character. I think one of my biggest issues with All Engines Go is that Thomas is the star of the show for every single episode, and not much of the characters get to do anything, and not many characters have appeared by then. I honestly think if All Engines Go, had more characters to it, I think it would have been better, but we can't really, talk about it too much since the show is over, and I don't know what this means for the future of Thomas and Friends. I don't know if Mattel will actually listen and make something good, or if, they might make a new show that is just as bad as All Engines Go. But our only hope is the Mark Forster movie. And hey, the 80th anniversary is here. as of the time I'm recording. So, and like by tomorrow, the new merchandise will come out, which I will definitely buy. Just depending on if I go to Target or not, or unless I order them online. Whichever one comes first. Alright, enough of me chit-chatting and yapping like there's no tomorrow. Let's actually talk about these ponies, or trains as they are right now. No, dude, what if Twilight Sparkle actually did discover, like, a spell that turned them into trains? Could you imagine? I mean, the My Little Pony fandom does a lot of things to these characters. Some more edgy than others. But I'm not going to go into detail. Besides, I want to be like... I just want to talk about the good side of the fandom. The right fan-made stories. Expand upon these characters and... I don't know. But... let's start off with the main token character. Twilight Sparkle. The Princess of Friendship, if you will prefer it. Now, let's talk about these train designs. I think Train Boy 54 really cooked here with these, like, train designs. And, like, giving these characters, like, sort of interesting designs. Okay. Now, when it comes to making OCs, I know that some aren't as original as others. But I gotta give, like, credit where credit is due for Train Boy 54 because, like, I think he made Twilight Sparkle even better than she already is in the actual show. So, Twilight Sparkle is based off of the Sterling Singles. And if you look at her color scheme, she's actually based off of the Equestria Girls version. She's got the blue, like, boiler and cab. The dark purple tender at the back. These little blue wheels. I'm assuming they're the same color as Trixie. And, I went with the Friendship is Magic faces because I prefer that over Equestria Girls. And again, I've already talked about these character personalities enough on my channel, so you probably know what these are like. But, yeah. Even though Twilight Sparkle isn't one of my favorite characters, I still think she's alright. She's pretty decent. I think she had a good character arc in Season 2, 3, 4, 6, and I want to say 8, but I'm not 100% sure. Twilight just basically switches from, like, being a great character to just being, like, mid for me. But I don't think she's all that bad. I really love this, like, version of Twilight Sparkle. This is one of my favorites I've made. And yes, Twilight Sparkle will be rescued from the Superstation in episode 19. But, again, do not go and butcher me in the comments asking me to continue the series. Because I really need some time to myself. If that is, like... let me just clear the traffic right now. If TALEA is the only reason you're subscribed, you might as well unsubscribe. Not trying to be harsh or anything. But there's other things on my channel that I do. Not every video has to be focused on one topic. I hope you guys understand that. Alright, with that little tangent out of the way, in all seriousness, I really think Twilight Sparkle came out nice, and I love this version of her. I think she works well as a Sterling single. I know some of you would probably, like, say that she should have been, like, based off of Thomas here, since she is the main character, but yeah, I'm sure some of you probably know about, like, yeah. But I just think that she works more as a Sterling single. I think it just makes Twilight even more beautiful than she already is. Alright. Next, let's take a look at Applejack. So, AJ here is based off of the LYR Class 28s, and I'm gonna be honest, Applejack has always been one of my favorite characters to, like, make in terms of 3D printed projects. Because I love painting that certain, like, tangerine color, and I just think she looks pretty cute right here with the yellow lining. And now, I accidentally made a mistake and, like, painted her wheels orange when I first made her. But I decided to keep that little detail because, like, I think the black wheels on Applejack just don't really make her stick out that well, in my opinion. And I painted the white running board because, like, I really don't like the red running boards on any piece of Thomas merchandise, and I think the red running board would have made characters like Applejack and Rainbow Dash look pretty ugly. So, yeah. But in all seriousness, I really think this came out nice. Really nice on Applejack. And she's definitely an awesome character. Alright, now let's get on to the most adorable character in the MLP franchise, Fluttershy. You already know how much I love this pony. And dude, I'm already blushing like right now as I'm talking about her. That's just how much I love Fluttershy. She makes me feel certain things. And I really love, like, the design choice Trainboy54 gave her. When he first made Fluttershy, I was just blown away. I did not expect him to do this. I mean, I know he usually does Phineas and Ferb characters, mostly because that's, like, his second favorite franchise, but I was not expecting him to do My Little Pony, like, out of the blue, out of nowhere. And I really think Fluttershy is one of those characters who really sticks out. In a way. Just the way that the yellow and pink clash together. Her long, beautiful mane. Her, like... just everything about Fluttershy is just so cute. Her voice is adorable. Like... and just Fluttershy, like, has a very interesting character to her. Like, she's basically like a pushover, but I still think Fluttershy is very adorable here. Very nice. Love this so much. And I did recently buy, like, the new Symbiote Studios plushies that came out, so I'll do a video on those. And I've already done a community post, so you can guess what those are. Alright, now let's move on to the drama queen, Rarity. Okay, she isn't, like, a drama queen all the time. Sometimes, like, but she does throw a lot of fits in the show, and, like, she's very childish. But even with that, I still really love Rarity. Her design is beautiful. I always love, like, how these people, like... dude, I just love the art style in general. I love how the characters move. I love their mouth movements. I love their articulations. And their voices are especially, like... they really bring the characters to life. Now, you could probably say that about a lot of shows. That the animation is good. The characters are likable and fun, and the acting is great. I know it's common with a lot of shows, but My Little Pony really knocks it out of the ballpark. Like, just the way, like, these characters, like... dude, I just love this animation in general, but Rarity always had one of the best character designs for me. So I don't blame her for, like, acting all vain and, like, sort of like James the Red Engine. But could you imagine if Rarity and James, like, actually, like... dude, imagine the dynamic between the two characters. Alright, now let's move on to... You got the touch. Oops, wrong Hasbro franchise. But, yes, we're talking about the GOAT. The Queen. My spirit animal. The best pony in all of mankind. Rainbow Dash. I've already said this before, and I'll say it again, but Rainbow Dash is awesome. You already know how much I love her so much. Her tomboy personality, just her boastfulness, and just, like, everything about Rainbow Dash. And I think Rainbow Dash has one of the best character designs out of everyone. I know Fluttershy is the cutest, but Rainbow Dash, this right here, is the GOAT of all ponies. And I know there are a lot of people who could probably, like, say that Fluttershy is their favorite character, but I seriously think Rainbow Dash is awesome. And what's even more better is that she's based off of Thomas the Tank Engine himself. Dude, like, that is awesome. Trainboy54, if you're watching this, you did a really great job with these ponies. And I want to thank you personally for inspiring me as well. And I gotta give credit where credit is due. All the credit goes to Trainboy54 because he did this. He started this whole, like, My Little Pony thing. And she has the rainbow lining. And she's basically blue like Thomas, so that's even, like, better. And again, I chose to give her a white running board because I really don't like the red running board. Ugh. And I'm so glad that Mattel decided to finally give the new merchandise white running boards and black buffers. Dude, okay, if I ever do get the motorized Thomas, I'll do a video on him 100%. I think it's a huge improvement compared to, like, the crap that was the 2014 Trackmaster Thomas. But let's all be thankful that Mattel finally stepped up their game. Alright, and last but certainly not least, we have Pinkie Pie, the party pony. And easily, like, one of the funniest and random characters in My Little Pony. And we all know that she's Mr. Incredibrony's favorite. So, I think Pinkie Pie, like, has... I mean, I know Pinkie Pie is one of my all-time favorite characters. I mean, I do like her design. Though, I gotta say, I love, like, all these other, like, engines, like, more. Don't get me wrong, Bill and Ben are still, like, some of the, like, funniest characters of the Thomas and Friends series. Just the pranks they pull. The amount of trouble they get into. Oh, yeah, well, you could say that Buffer Bobber there sucks, but other than that, I still like Bill and Ben. But, dude, Pinkie Pie, she's an amazing character. I don't really know what else to say. Like, she's just amazing. Like, I've already talked about Pinkie Pie before on my channel, so, like, I don't want to sound biased, but I really love this. I mean, she's still pretty cute. Not really much to add, but... Alright, so... That was the My Little Pony Thomas characters thing by Trainboy54. Still, I gotta say that Trainboy54 definitely did not disappoint me. The fact that he is a My Little Pony fan in general just surprises me. And I'm so happy that there's another, like, fan. And yes, there are a lot of Thomas and Friends fans who are also into My Little Pony. I mean, have you seen Miss Oliver and Blossom and Joey Turner? Even James A. Williams, for that matter? Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think if I had to guess what my next review on would be, it would probably be the Phineas and Ferb characters, like I mentioned. Since I would like to continue the Trainboy54, like, series that I've sort of concocted here. I've already talked about Trainboy54 himself, so I just thought this would be nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There will be more videos coming soon. Like I said, I'll do videos on the new Symbiote Studios plushies, and if I get the new 80th anniversary merchandise, I'll do a review on that as well, and give my personal thoughts, since I already talked about the Tomy Playroll Thomas. But thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like on it, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss anything. And as always, bye for now.